everyone. This is Lewis Hughes of GameReviewPad here, and I'm just gonna basically do like a quick let's play of Animal Crossing New Horizon, the latest game in the Animal Crossing franchise. Well, I'm gonna basically just do my thing and give you like a little brief experience of my history with this franchise. So, basically, the original game came out, I believe, in September of 2002. It was originally on the N64, Japan only, so came out in the States for the Nintendo's new console at the time, the Nintendo GameCube. And I bought the game honestly just on a whim, just because of the fact I was in college and whatnot. So I just wanted to, well, this was back when you didn't have much responsibilities, didn't have didn't have many bills to pay, so it's just, hey, here's this game. This is different, so I'm gonna give it a try here. And just like before I basically started recording this, when I first played this, I spent a good amount of time playing this game. Just like when I played it back on the GameCube, I spent a good almost 4 to 5 hours just playing the game because it was, I give them credit, it was definitely a very different game. I mean, just the fact that in the very first Animal Crossing, you basically just, it's like, oh, I'm in this town. Oh, look, there's a house. Oh, hello, Tom Nook. Which we learned to love and hate you at the same time, but then looking back in hindsight and including today, you're basically giving us young adults a peek into the real world of, hey, when you buy a house, you're gonna have to do something called a mortgage, which is pretty funny to think about because I don't know about you, but I think it would be nice to have someone like Tom Nook who would give you all the time in the world to basically pay off your mortgage. It's like, oh, no, 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 there's no due date, just take your time, as long as you pay it off, that's all that matters. And then when you finally do pay it off, he starts adding more and more features to your house that you didn't know that you needed, and then you owe more in mortgage. So that was a pretty fun experience with the first Animal Crossing game. And then, of course, my other friends saw me play it, and then they figured, okay, this is different. There's really not a game over. You just, yeah, that's the point of the game. You just basically, go fishing, collect fruit, and a feature that will only be on the GameCube version, the ability to collect Nintendo games. So, because of that, it was a really fun experience. I mean, I think the funniest experience I could say with the game is because of the fact that everything runs in real time. And I'm sorry, people, but I guess I can say I'm one of the few people to never, I guess, time travel as people basically do now, where they basically just screw around with the console's clock settings so certain events can happen. I felt if I did that, what's the point? It's not like, and yes, the excuse is it's a video game, you can do what you want, but I'm just of the mindset to where I just feel, you know, there are moments where I wish I could rewind time and change things in my life, but you know what? I was dealt the cards and I just dealt with it. I just dealt with what I had, so I just basically just progressed on, and I think it's because of that with the newest one, New Horizon, why Nintendo now has to do system updates, because people are just gonna upload, hey, here's what Christmas looks like, here's what the summer looks like. So, yeah, me and close friends of mine in college, we had a real blast with the game, basically all living in the same, basically the same town and whatnot. But I remember one of the funniest things was how there was this one moment with this one character where I believe it was for 2 weeks, I had to, at exactly 6 p.m., I had to turn on the lighthouse. But there was a moment when I basically wasn't able to because I had class at the time, so I had to basically call up my friend and tell him, hey, can you boot the game up? Can you just go on my save file and then just boot the game by 6 p.m. and then turn on that lighthouse? And yeah, he managed to do it with 5 minutes to spare because he knows, don't even think about rewinding time because I know that I'm not down with the whole time traveling thing. And they weren't either, so that was a good thing. And it is definitely one of those games. I mean, I guess in hindsight, when I think about it, when Animal Crossing did come out, it came out at a time where you did have, I believe The Sims was still a big thing at the time. So that could have basically played a huge part in why I guess I kind of got hooked into Animal Crossing, was mainly because of, yeah, just because of that Second Life and whatnot. Because I remember I did have The Sims on PC. Because, yeah, back when a normal average computer could run a computer game versus today. So, out of all the, like I said, out of all the Animal Crossing games, the ones I still have the most fun with is definitely the original. I mean, the only other ones I had the most playing time with is definitely the one for Animal Crossing, I believe it's Wild World. Yeah, Wild World on a DS. That's the only other one where I spent a lot of time on that game. Because, yeah, both those two Animal Crossing games, I think in total I spent close up to 60 to 80 hours. But unfortunately, my third-party GameCube memory card became corrupt. And when it became corrupt, it kept saying, hey, we can't use your memory card unless we format it. But if we format it, that means all that data will be gone. So, unfortunately, I had to format it. So, all that data I have for all my games, gone. And that is definitely one of the worst feelings in the world, is all your data, you spend all your time on that data, and it's basically gone. Spend 20, 30 hours on a game, and it's gone within a second. So, it's moments like that versus today, I'm kind of glad that we no longer have to worry about, well, I guess nowadays you do have external memory, but I really can't say I had a moment where I had a corrupt save file. I think, yeah, that GameCube memory card I bought, it was a third-party GameCube memory card because the original GameCube memory cards didn't have that much space. So that third-party memory card was the only one where I had the most issues with. I haven't had any like memory card issues except for that GameCube one. So yeah, I mean, there was the one on Wii with the Animal Crossing City Folk. I played it for a bit, but I guess I wasn't into it as much because it was basically very, I guess I wouldn't say it was streamlined, but I guess you could say Animal Crossing City Folk was made for people who have never played an Animal Crossing game before in their life. So to me, I felt like that game was more hand-holding for people, since this was at a time when the Wii was the fastest-selling console, and the demographic that the Nintendo was targeting for the most part. I mean, kudos to them, but yeah, overall, I just didn't feel that City Folk was for me. So, like I said, I played it for a bit, then I never picked it back up. And then after that, I believe, because I could be wrong here, but I believe the Animal Crossing franchise kind of laid dormant until New Leaf on the 3DS. And then 3DS, it kind of started this whole, well, we did get Isabella, which is everyone's favorite secretary, and they changed everything up to where now you're the mayor of the city or town, and it definitely brought it back. It definitely brought that gem, what made the GameCube one back. And And my experience with the 3DS one, I really wish I played more of it, but the reason why I was able to play, especially the first one, was I didn't have much responsibilities at the time. It was just basically college and that was it. When versus today, where you have basically a job and all this jobs and bills, so responsibility kicks in and life kicks in. So don't have as much gaming time as I used to have. So basically now with Animal Crossing New Horizon, I can see myself trying to play it a lot, but we'll just see what happens. And what's also pretty interesting is that it's just the timing for New Horizon, because originally this game was supposed to come out around at around, I believe, in October, November. It was supposed to be like one of the launch like not launch, but holiday titles. And then they decided, let's just push it back. Give the crew more time to perfect the game. I mean, it's just funny that the stars aligned for this game. It's coming out at a time where it's like, hey, your life is on hold, so start your new life with this game. So, I mean, my impressions on it so far is, yeah, it is definitely giving me vibes of back when I played basically the first one on GameCube. But I guess the key difference is now I only have 2 people on my island at the moment. So just gotta, because I'm pretty sure by now people could see, this is, like I said, times have changed, because I could easily have put in a lot of time into this game if it was back in the early 2000s when I had a lot of free time. Well, I mean, granted, at the time of this recording, I have a lot of free time, so I'm definitely gonna take advantage of this, because who knows when something like this will happen again, where I have all this free time. So, and just a little quick heads up, as you can see with Tom's shop, I'm still trying to basically upgrade the shop from a tent to like an actual store. So I'm still, well, like I said, it'll be interesting to see where I am within a couple of months. And well, I guess you will find out in some due time as I get more time on with this game. Hopefully do a review for it. Then let's see, trying to sell, let's see, oh, yep, see what's for sale, and yeah, it's, now, I know on the original Animal Crossing, my friend, I guess he really didn't beat the game, but he did pay off all his mortgage, and they basically built a statue of him. So, yeah, I mean, it's, but yeah, I guess it's just because I just find it surprising how, because I remember with New Leaf, when New Leaf came out, that was very popular, but I guess it's because of the timing of this game and what's going on at the moment, that there is just so much hype for this game, of people playing it. But then again, that also plays into another thing, because You don't have like stuff like this, like live streams and let's plays being a thing. Although I could say based on experience, this was kind of a thing, but it was more of a niche thing. It wasn't like mainstream as it is now. But while we're on this, I have been with the GameReviewPad since its initial launch in, I believe, March of 2014. So it's been pretty good getting my feet wet into the gaming journalism business. And yeah, and if you want to know, basically, that's basically what I do. I basically spend most of my time. If only picking up weeds was this easy in real life. Just put it in my extremely hyperhole pockets and sell it. Now there is one thing different that I have done on here that I haven't done in all the other Animal Crossing games because I was so intent on paying off my loan, was that I'm actually now starting to donate the fossils and bugs and everything to the museum. Where originally I would just have a bare bone museum because I was basically using the fossils and everything as I would just sell it so I could just get more bells so I could pay off the loan. But now, since they give you so much to do with the, and I will admit, I do like how it's kind of modernized with the having a Nook phone and you earning miles for doing certain achievements and accomplishments. And I agree with everybody else. They love showing off how windy it is because it does look really nice with basically with the trees just swaying with the wind. And as for the, as much love and praise I will give to Breath of the Wild, I just feel now because of that game, they just made it to now everything has to break. You crack something, it breaks. Rinse, wash, repeat. Okay, that's just funny. I just talked about how this constantly breaks and then it happens. I wonder if I can sell that. But yeah, that did kind of freak me out about, I can, because yeah, it is completely different because it just feels it was so surreal to me seeing how everything's just one big scroll, because it was like that on the DS and the 3DS where you didn't have to worry about, like on the GameCube, like every time you moved, the screen would have to catch up with you. So here I go, making a brand new fishing pole again. Ah, crud. Okay, now I can make this fishing pole again. And basically doing what I haven't done ever, which was donate, as I said earlier. And yep, I still don't want to, although I'm sure there's some good knowledge in there, but just not for the time being. Well, it's not near Nimoy, but hey. Okay, I think I'll just play for a few more minutes and I'm just gonna call it a day. Gotta get them Nook Miles. You know, it's kind of, this looks all nice and clean, but I haven't played my other Animal Crossing on the DS in almost, oh god, how many, like almost 5 years. I dread to think of all the weeds that are in my old town. And yes, I am. And yes, this game did teach me how to be responsible with my money. The original. Okay, well, I guess I am gonna basically call it right here. You'll get to see my very unimpressive house. I'm sure it'll get better, hopefully. So yeah, nothing fancy at the moment. Just a radio and a switch. And with that, I am gonna call it a day. So once again, thanks for watching this video. Be sure to follow GameReviewPad. Follow, like, subscribe, the whole thing. We also have a social media page. So once again, I hope y'all enjoy and take care, everyone.